Want to watch football without the restrictions of blackouts or cable? Check out expressvpn.com to help you get access to all the live games. Sign up today using the link in the description to get 3 free months.
Yo to Bull fam, it's the director. Chargers fans, we're going to talk about something I've been getting a lot of requests about, okay? It feels like everywhere I turn, I can't escape this topic. They're in my comments, they're in my live chat. Every single day I'm starting to hear more and more rumors stack on top about this topic. Yes, we're finally going to talk about the possibility of Bill Belichick coming to the Chargers either at the end of this season, maybe even in the middle of the season. We're going to talk about how that could be a possibility and the rumor floating around that lately and why this could be such a big deal for the Chargers. Trigger warning for a lot of you guys in the comments today, okay? I know there's a lot of hard feelings held against Bill Belichick, specifically for Chargers fans. I understand that there's different opinions in terms of coaching. We're out here, dude. We're not messing around anymore. Right now, it's Operation Rescue Mission for Justin Herbert's career, okay? And if this is the move, if this is a move that could accomplish that, I'm going to support it with everything I've got. If it's not, I'm going to give you guys good reasons why I don't feel that way either. So let's go ahead and jump into this video. It's going to be a pretty important one because I'm going to tell you guys right now, the rumors floating around this with how much information that I'm hearing, it's no joke. This is actually a very, very real thing that could happen. Of course, anything could happen. It could all be a ruse. But from what I'm hearing, a lot of this does hold water. So we're going to go over it, catch you guys up who have been on the outs in terms of Bill Belichick to the Chargers, and then kind of give our opinion on whether or not this is a good idea. So before we do get started, guys, shout out to the sponsor, Underdog Fantasy. If you guys want to get in on the best fantasy platform on the web, use code DIRECTOR to match your first deposit up to $100. Keeps the season fun and fresh. And you newcomers, take advantage of this Christian McCaffrey half-yard special. Thursday's going to be awesome. Of course, Thanksgiving games. Definitely want to make sure you guys got some skin on that one. Before we do kick off, guys, hit us up with a like and sub if you do enjoy this Chargers content. Small amount of time you guys take to hit the like, sub, and bell notification. Helps me out a lot. Let's get into it. Lights, camera, action. Bill Belichick to the Chargers. Why it could actually happen. You know what's funny? This is the second time I've recorded this video. Okay, back in the Anthony Lynn days, there was a lot of rumor floating around about Bill Belichick coming to the Chargers, and then quickly shifted gears to, I think, Brian Daboll at the time, which we were all very much so rejoicing. That didn't happen. Instead, we got Brandon Staley, and we kind of know where that ended up. So, first off, a lot of people have been asking the question, or actually putting out the statement, director. The first thing that needs to happen in order for Bill Belichick to become a Charger is for the New England Patriots to fire the man, which will never happen. The Patriots will never, ever move on from Bill Belichick. There was a rumor that he got an extension. I think even this year in 2023, it could have been a while ago. I don't know all the details about it, but Bill Belichick, a Patriot, it kind of feels like it's something that's never going to change. Well, in my opinion, I do think it could change. I think Bill Belichick is the kind of coach and kind of name that can move whenever he wants. He's kind of like legacy player, or I should say legacy coach in the NFL. Number two, before even all the Charger stuff, I heard a lot of rumors, a lot of them. They're starting to stack up on top of each other, that the Patriots and Bill Belichick have already parted ways mutually. They're kind of going through. It's almost like when you're separated but not divorced, right? It's just like you're kind of still going through the motion. There's paperwork and stuff to do. I've heard that that's already kind of been set and done, right? There's going to be a mutual parting of ways from Bill Belichick and the Patriots after this season, during this season. Guys, there could be a legitimate chance this could happen during the season. We're going to go over that a little bit later in this video, but that is actually pretty likely as well. So Bill Belichick and the Patriots, it sounds like it's already happening. The parting is already happening. It's because the Patriots have been kind of a disaster since Tom Brady left, and that's a really big point to bring out into the foreground. If you're a Chargers fan thinking, hey, Bill could be coming to the Chargers, it's pretty likely almost at some point. Why would we want a Bill Belichick that was only good with Tom Brady? First off, that's not really accurate. I'll say there's a lot of success even outside of Tom. Even when Tom Brady was starting, there's a lot of things that Bill Belichick solely deserves credit for, and it's mainly that defense that we're going to get into in just a second. Secondly, there's a lot. There's a lot to uncover. So we're going to move on to the next statement as to why the Chargers may be a very, very wise team to bring on a guy like this. Look at their current situation. I think, again, you look at the situation of the Patriots, it's not looking good. The Mac Jones experiment has failed. Bill Belichick does kind of need a quarterback in some ways to help his balance in terms of a good defense matching it with a good offense. The Chargers also in a very bad way. Brandon Staley, just a disaster of an experiment. Okay, this team right now, and you guys just saw my rant after the Packers game. You saw my post-game report where I ranted on it even more. The Chargers, in my opinion, are dead in the water until we make a change at leadership. And ultimately, a lot of us would hope that it's ownership. A lot of us want the Spanos' that situation to change. I get that. I'm with you. But more likely to happen is a change at coach, maybe even GM. And that's something that the Chargers desperately need right now. Brandon Staley, as much as I think he's an awesome human being, is just honestly a terrible head coach. He's led us into the depths of hell, which we're trying to crawl out of the ninth circle right now. It's bad. It's very, very bad. And we've gone over a lot of reasons why it's bad. The players look lost. Nobody knows their assignments. The scheme is quite honestly pretty awful. Something that we're hoping to translate to the Chargers just did not in very many ways. We're the worst defense in the league, led by a defensive-minded head coach, hired on the merit of his defense with the Rams in 2020. It's just been a flat-out disaster. And it's something that Chargers fans, and the Chargers are very much so not unfamiliar with. The Chargers need an experienced head coach, man. I've been a fan of this team like 15, 16 years. Okay, a lot of you guys way, way further than me. I get that. But I've watched the Chargers go through a lot of coaches, right? They chew up and spit out a lot of coordinators. Sometimes, it feels like there's some optimism behind it. I remember Norv Turner. Hey, man, there could be something here with Phil. There was some optimism with Brandon Staley, even with that defense. But ultimately, it's been the same story, different years, so long as we continue this insane method of experimenting with coordinators that aren't really proven. Right, Mike McCoy, I think he was leading the Peyton Manning Broncos. There was some optimism and stuff there. Ultimately, it wasn't him. It was Peyton. It just feels like it's all fool's gold at this point. Every time we bring on a coordinator, every single time we don't bring on someone that has some kind of pedigree, some kind of resume, it feels like we're kicking rocks, saving money. That's the biggest gripe I had in my last video. It really does feel like, and everybody knows this, but no one says it as often, the Chargers suck because the Spanoses won't spend money on coach, and it's something that could happen again. Quite honestly, Belichick might be at our front door tomorrow, on his knees with gift baskets, begging to coach Justin Herbert, and the Chargers may say, hey, piss off. You want more than the bottom salary in the NFL? Then we're going to go grab somebody else. We'll grab Joe Yahoo from the special teams coach from the Browns or whatever and make that decision based on money. I'm telling you, man, I'm hoping that the Spanoses woke up sometime this season and had said, hey, man, times have changed. Times really have changed. The economy has changed. $15 million to buy out a Brandon Staley contract this year is very worth it. How many more fans would be excited about the rest of the season if we just made that change? How many more fans would come back into the fold with optimism of the future if we at least did something about the bad situation that we're in? A lot, I would say. Even if there's not a lot of chance of us making the postseason, how would you guys feel if we made a change at head coach? Let's say it's Kellen Moore who steps up. Are you guys back in? Those of you guys that jumped out, are you back in just to kind of see what happens, have some hope for the future? Or are you still like, it's still a mess out here? I think a lot of people would jump back in. That change needs to happen, but I think it needs to happen the right way. We need an experienced head coach. And quite frankly, it's happening again. We have another one that wants to be in Los Angeles with the Chargers, or more particular, Justin Herbert. Now, take this for what you will. Gary Myers or whatever, there's a whole bunch of rumors. This is one that I kind of spat out here. He reads, one of my well-placed sources, believes the Chargers are the favorites for Bill Belichick in 2024. Excellent quarterback, team ready to win. Bill Belichick likes California and the beach, whatever that, water holds with that rumor there. That's significant, okay? And again, that's just one of very many sources that I'm hearing this information from. Dan Orvalsky or whatever his name is, Dan O. I think he went on the Pat McAfee show, and his sources also confirmed that the Patriots and Bill Belichick are parting ways, and that the next destination has already been determined. Okay, could it be the Chargers? Right now, I'm hearing a lot more about the Chargers than any other team. It's not like I'm not hearing other teams. I am. But Bill Belichick to the Chargers, it makes a lot of sense. It holds a lot of water. I'm hearing things after things. And the only reason I'm making this video is because of how much overwhelming information is being shoved in my direction via Twitter and Instagram and Facebook supporting the theory. We have to take it seriously at this point. We do. Because Bill Belichick to the Chargers could actually be a thing by the end of the year. We just have to determine if it's good. And you know what? I'm getting deja vu. It's happening again. We have that decorated head coach coming to our front door asking for a job. The question is, do we slam the door in their face again? I took a lot of heat for this take last season, man. I did. On the image here, you'll see Sean Payton dressed up in Chargers garb. Okay? I got a lot of heat. I got a lot of pushback when it came to the Sean Payton idea in 2022. All right. I did take my time a little bit. I was like, I kind of want to see what's up with Staley. Are we good? We really need it. After I don't know how long, but not too long. I was fully on board with Sean Payton train, and I did catch a lot of heat. I did. I wanted this man badly. Nobody wanted to trade the pick. Nobody wanted to spend the money. I did. Now, no doc on Quentin Johnston. I promise I'm trying not to do that. But would you guys have made that change now? No Quentin Johnston, Sean Payton in 2023 instead of Brandon Staley? I think a lot of people would be on that train. Even when the Broncos were stinking it up. Even when the Broncos were, 1-5 to start the season? I was still going at bat for the idea. I told everybody, man, I promise you, both situations would be different. If Sean Payton was in Los Angeles, his career would be looking on the up and up, and the Chargers season would be looking on the up and up. We need a change in culture, and he's starting to do that. Now people are waking up to that idea because the Broncos are on a winning streak. What are they, 5-5 now? There's obviously a still change of culture with the Denver Broncos, and we're looking at an uprise of Denver again. I hate this. Just lived through it with Peyton Manning. Seems like yesterday. It's happening again, and that's how big of an impact a change at head coach can be if you turn in the right direction. The Broncos, they made the move. They took the risk. They made the sacrifice of the pick. They made the sacrifice of the money, and now they're on the up and up. And guess what? I'm sure their sales are looking better. I'm sure the ticket holders, or I should say the ticket purchases are going up. I'm sure the merchandise is going up, largely in due to Sean Payton. And that's why if you're Dean Spanos, you have to look at this like monopoly money. Spend it to make it. It's not real until you start making more. I don't want to see a Sean Payton situation pass us by again, man. I was pretty sick that it didn't happen. Ultimately, we had to move on from the idea, of course, when he got hired by the Broncos. But my word, still feel like that's a missed opportunity. And I think it's going to happen again. Not that they were going to hire Bill Belichick, but that we have a guy that wants to be here. The ball's in our court. And I think the biggest reason why Bill's going to want to come here is the same reason why Sean Payton wanted to come here. It's number 10. You could argue that Justin Herbert, in terms of open coaching positions, which is very likely for the Chargers by the end of the season, at least I'm really hoping so, is the most valuable player in the league. If you take a look at the other coaching vacancies, I don't see anyone anywhere near the quarterback caliber that we have with Justin Herbert in Los Angeles. This roster is ready built in a lot of ways. Sure, it's going to be a little bit of a pain to get out of the cap situation that was created going all in last year. Ultimately failed. But we still have Justin Herbert. We got Keenan, maybe for a couple more seasons. We got Bosa and Thule and Derwin. Like, we got pieces everywhere. What would a Bill Belichick-led Chargers team look like? Is Justin Herbert enough to counterbalance that defense that ultimately I think he would create with the team to make the offense still deadly while making the defense finally pick up the slack a little bit? I think the biggest reason why we could have had Sean Payton, the biggest reason why we could have Bill Belichick, the biggest reason why we could have any quarterback with any sort of pedigree is because this coach would just have to step on the field and get to work rather than build from the ground up. When you don't have a quarterback or you have a quarterback that's green, it takes a lot of work. But when you got a guy that's proven like Justin Herbert, it takes a lot of the work out of that, and that coaching position is very lucrative. That's why Brandon Staley is ultimately looked at as very lucky to be given the keys to the Chargers when Justin Herbert was breaking into the best season we've ever seen at the quarterback position in the history of the NFL. You know what you do at this point? Now that we see a team that's failing him over and over again, largely due to coaching mishaps, largely due to bad coaching all around, you take that Ferrari that's sitting in the poverty garage and you hand it to a man like Bill Belichick who knows how to drive it. Bill Belichick is proven. Bill Belichick is a how many time Super Bowl winner? Is this the kind of culture we want in our locker room? Absolutely. A lot of you guys are going to throw a lot of stink at this. I get it. I saw the same thing with the Sean Payton stuff. The Bounty Gate stuff, all that. We're going to start hearing the Deflate Gate and everything here too. I get it. I understand. Or the Spygate. I get it. I understand all of that. I don't care. We are in Operation Save Justin Herbert's career, and I honestly have a feeling that this is what the Chargers want to do in terms of direction. That's why they hired Brandon Staley a couple of seasons ago, because they want a defense that can match the quality of play that their offense is being provided by their elite quarterback. They want a defense that can help their quarterback win games so he doesn't have to shoulder all of that responsibility by himself. We banked on Brandon Staley being that guy. He wasn't. He isn't. I don't know if he ever will be, outside of maybe a defensive coordinator with a different team. That idea bust. You know what you can do now? An idea that is at your doorstep? If Bill Belichick is anything, and a lot of you guys will say he's washed after Tom Brady. If Bill Belichick is anything, he is a mastermind at constructing an elite defense year after year after year. Almost every season in Tom Brady's career under Bill Belichick did he have an amazing defense behind him with nobodies. Bill is a terrible drafter. Of course, Bill Belichick is going to want to be the GM wherever he goes. That's a conversation we're going to have in just a second. Bill Belichick has been able to turn nobodies into superstars. Defenses with no business being top 10, ranking top 3. Bill Belichick is a defensive mastermind. If you want a defensive mastermind, Chargers, if that is your end goal here, don't take a bet on a would-be, could-be, should-be, and go after the real deal. Maybe Sean Payton didn't wet their beak enough because he's an offensive guy. They want a defensive guy. I want an offensive guy, but it's not going to change what the Chargers want. It sounds like they want a defensive guy. And maybe the best defensive-minded head coach in the history of the NFL is knocking on your door. Are you going to answer? Are you going to answer? A lot of Chargers fans, again, are going to push me back on this. I get it. Because the Patriots suck right now. They do. They stink. Do we even want Bill Belichick? Do we? I think it all is a circumstance out of his control at this point. Maybe, yeah, there was a lot of control there. Maybe, yeah, we don't have the quarterback in Mac Jones. Maybe that is the underlying thing that's going to ultimately sink the Patriots, is that Bill Belichick does kind of need a quarterback. He does. Maybe Tom Brady had been floating him all those years, right? Maybe Bill Belichick needs to be somewhere where there's a quarterback. And if the Patriots aren't going to go and fork up 4 first-round picks for a decent one, like the Browns had to do with Deshaun Watson, which is blowing up in their face, maybe he should go somewhere where the quarterback is. Because I'll tell you right now, guys, if there's one thing, again, that's in Bill's control, that's still working, it's the defense. Crazy enough, that defense is keeping Mac Jones and Bailey Zappi in games. Imagine being a Patriots fan right now, where the defense is just as good as you're going to see, but the quarterback play is just sinking this team over and over and over again. Now you take a look at Chargers fans, it's the opposite. The quarterback is as good as any you're going to see, but the defense is sinking us over and over and over again. Why not kill 2 birds with 1 stone here? Of course, the Patriots are left out to dry, but the Chargers would have a Bill Belichick who has that defense that can finally help Justin Herbert, because I get passionate about this, dude. I'm not watching Justin Herbert fall into the same trap as is Phillip Rivers. Phillip Rivers was a victim of cheapness, a victim of lack of planning, and a victim of a lot of things with this team. Chargers fans forever will hold his name dearly in our hearts. I sure do. One of my favorite players to ever play the game that I watched. One of my favorite personalities, etc., etc. That man deserved a Super Bowl, and we let him down. We let him down. I'm not going to sit by and watch the Chargers do the same thing to Justin Herbert. So the Patriots stink right now. Yes, they do. And yes, there is a chance that Bill Belichick is not the same Bill. He comes to the Chargers, everything blows up, it looks bad. I am inclined to believe that that's not going to be the case. Everyone said the same thing about Sean Payton in the first 5 weeks. He was getting his footing there with the Denver Broncos, of course. It could have been better executed. He could have had a better attitude. But right now, the Broncos are on the rise, man. They got all the momentum for the 2023 season, and I almost fully credit that coaching change as to the reason why. Operation Rescue Justin Herbert's career is fully underway, and we got a guy in Bill Belichick knocking on the door. Big thing that's a little bit concerning for me, though, if you guys are looking for the cons on my side, and some of you guys might be in favor of this. If this happens, it's also a pretty big possibility that Tom Telesco is let go, and there's for two reasons here. One, the Chargers might be wanting just to kind of clean the front office house completely. Tom Telesco has had very many head coaching hires, all of which have been failures. Maybe they just want a new guy in there. I would say he's a decent drafter. He's been okay in free agency, not great, just kind of a coupon guy. It's likely that if we bring Bill Belichick into the team, that Tom Telesco's gone. The second reason is because, well, Bill Belichick likes to GM. And I would imagine wherever he goes, he's going to want to be the GM of that team. Am I about it? Not really. I think that Bill Belichick, that's the one con that I have in this whole team. Bill Belichick is one of the worst drafters I've ever seen. This guy throws around picks like, I don't know, man. Like they're make-believe. He tries to acquire a lot and then does nothing with them. It's a weird thing to watch the New England Patriots get to work in draft season. I really don't want that to happen with the Chargers. But if it's honestly at this point, because we have Justin Herbert, we saw him do the similar things, with Tom Brady. All of a sudden, here comes Julian Edelman and all these guys. I think I would be okay with that trade, even though I wouldn't be stoked about the GM part of it. However, I think there's a possibility that Bill Belichick comes to the Chargers and doesn't GM. I think it's absolutely possible. He wants less on his plate, focus on the team. I'm sure the Chargers would love to hear that. But if he wants to be GM, that's probably one of the trade-offs that you're going to have to make. But I do think it would be very wise of Bill Belichick to exercise some humility here. I get it. I don't know if it's ever a good idea to coach and GM at the same time. I get that's kind of been his thing for a long time. But in order to move destinations to get his claws in on Justin Herbert, if that's the trade for him, I would take it if I were him too. So that's kind of really up in the air, but something to kind of push out there. So finally, you guys are asking, is this likely? Is this likely? Are we pushing out hot air, or is this actually something that could happen? I wouldn't be making this video if it wasn't possible, dudes. I'll just be honest with you there. I've already done this. I've already talked about Bill Belichick to the Chargers. It didn't happen in 2020. It could very much so not happen this season, too. Anything could happen, honestly. But to me, and with how much information is being thrown at my face and how many questions, how many rumors are being swirled around, I think it is likely. I think that the possibility of it does exist, where a lot of people say, there's absolutely no way. There's absolutely no way that Bill Belichick's coming to the Chargers. It's rumors, it's smoke, blah, 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 blah. I'm sorry. At this point, my nose goes where the information is, and the information is pointing me in the legitimacy of Bill Belichick possibly coming to the Chargers. And yes, I'm hearing rumors of other places, okay? I'm hearing rumors of Washington. There's a lot of connections there. Some rumors of Buffalo if they continue to have a hard time this season. But the most rumors by far I'm hearing is the Chargers. And the Chargers, again, Buffalo is a different story. If he can go coach Josh Allen, then more power to him. He gets to stay in the same part of the country. That's probably something that would be very intriguing for him. Honestly, it kind of feels like something that Bill would do. But if that's not an option, or if he's already kind of had his eyes set on Los Angeles, which some people are saying he wants to be in LA, just like Sean Payton said, and nobody took that seriously, but it was true. If that's the case, then the Chargers and the rumors here, they hold a lot of water. Because Bill Belichick and Justin Herbert, that's good news for Herbert and almost better news for Belichick. This man could go out there and win a Super Bowl without Tom Brady, with a ready-made roster, with a quarterback in Justin Herbert. How is that not lucrative for anybody in the NFL that's trying to move teams right now in terms of legitimate head coaches? Now, some people are saying, when could this happen? This is another reason why I'm making this video today, because another rumor has been popping up that Bill Belichick could be on the move very soon. You know why? Because the New England Patriots still hold the rights to this man. Kind of like the Sean Payton situation. I don't think it's going to cost nearly as much as what the Broncos paid, because there's already been a mutual parting of ways. Bill's earned a lot of respect from that franchise. It's still kind of immediate and fresh. But it sounds like, again, another rumor this morning, that the Patriots might want to trade Bill Belichick instead of flat out fire him. That's because they still hold their rights, and there's going to be a lot of teams that kind of want this man in the building. One of the most legendary coaches to ever coach in the NFL. If that's the case, then the Chargers could be looking at a switch sooner than later. Could be this week. Could be 3 weeks from now. Who knows? The Chargers give up a second, a third, a fourth, maybe even a first. I don't know. To get Bill Belichick in the building, and that process can start right away. He can get his feet wet with the season this year. Chargers get a tiny sneak preview. I would be all about that if I'm being honest, because if the Patriots want it to happen now, I don't want it to slip through my fingers. The Chargers probably wouldn't do that. And again, there's still a huge possibility that there is a mutual parting of ways of firing at the end of the season, and he's just kind of a free agent out there. Either way, it could happen. It could happen. And the Chargers and Patriots have always had an open dialogue. I don't know how long you guys how far back, but the Chargers and Patriots, they work a lot together. As much as we don't like them, they talk. So I have to believe that there has been talks about Bill Belichick at this point. And maybe that's why we've been hearing rumors about the destination already being decided, because that dialogue is open. Chargers are fed up with Brandon Staley. There's going to be a change. Who knows? Now, what's that change going to be? Yes, there's other possibilities. Some of you guys are going to see this picture and be like, oh, yes, director, now we're talking. Who are the other candidates? I think Kellen Moore is a great candidate, so long as we can give him half a season right now to show us what he has, because if he's a huge stinker, then we can avoid it altogether and just go grab a bigger quarterback or bigger coach next season. But I think Kellen Moore's a solid option. You got Jim Harbaugh, obviously. A lot of rumors swirling about him coming back to the NFL. Some rumors about him coming back to the Chargers specifically. And, of course, an ex-Chargers quarterback, head coach in the Bolts, who's got a great pedigree in the NFL and in college. Of course, that's a great candidate for me. I would be excited for Harbaugh. I would definitely be a supporter of that. Then you also got other rumors, guys. And I hate to get you guys bummed out here, but there's been rumors about guys like Arthur Smith and Frank Reich coming to coach the Chargers. We're going full circle doo-doo head coach. No. Operation Save Justin Herbert's career does not involve an Arthur Smith. And yes, you can go in and experiment with other coordinators like Brian Johnson. I would be kind of excited to see that. He's the offensive coordinator of the Eagles. Like that would be kind of cool. But my bottom line in this video is I'm kind of done. I'm fed up. I'm tired of waiting. I'm done poking around the bargain bin for would-be, could-be, should-be coaches. We need a seasoned head coach with pedigree. I screamed to the rooftops for the entire offseason about Sean Payton. Yeah, there was some support. There really was. But a lot of pushback. And the reason for that is because I wanted a guy with pedigree. A guy who's been there, won Super Bowls. And now you're looking at the man who's maybe won the most Super Bowls in NFL history. I think he's getting ready to break the most win record from Don Shula. The man that's seen more success than any other human in my lifetime in the NFL. I want this man leading my team. I'm sorry. I do. A lot of people might disagree. But give me Belichick. Give me Harbaugh too. Like, give me somebody who's got pedigree. I think right now, if I were in charge of the team, I would probably be elevating Kellen Moore just to kind of see what we have there. But my eyes would kind of firmly be on Bill Belichick because I think the Chargers want more of what Bill would offer, and that's just an elite defense. Okay? Even if everything else that's terrible that comes with Bill Belichick in terms of like drafting and no-name guys and just the weirdness revolving around his style, even if that comes to the Chargers, you would almost be able to bank on a solid, if not elite and incredible defense, especially behind guys like Derwin James. You'd be pretty much able to bank on that. And you know who benefits the most from that? You know who gets the most out of that? Not Mike McCoy. It's Justin Herbert. No more will Justin Herbert have to shoulder the weight of this franchise. And finally, will he get some freaking help out there? And if it involves bringing on Bill Belichick, who I've also got some sour emotion about, of course, I remember. If it means that, then yes, I'm willing to do that. Operation Rescue Justin Herbert's career is fully underway, and the rumors swirling around Bill Belichick to the Bolts are very real. Feels like the ball's in our court, and I don't want to miss out on another Sean Payton. The more we continue to beat around the bush, take the bargain bin, guys, and find a way to lose, the further we waste Justin Herbert's career and fall further and further into the depths of last place in the AFC West. That division's taken off without us, y'all. And it's going to take a big move to get out of there. And I honestly think Bill Belichick would be a great move for this team. Could be even the move for this team. It's hard to say this, man, because there's a lot of history here. Bill Belichick could be the key to the Chargers' first Super Bowl win in franchise history. Would you guys be willing to put aside all your prejudices and all your opinions for a chance at the Chargers winning their very first championship behind the man that's won more than anybody I know? I think I would. Well, guys, in the comment section below, let me know what your thoughts are on this subject. I know there's going to be a lot of opinions revolving around this, but it's okay. It needed to be said. It needed to be talked about, and the dialogue needed to be open because ultimately we're just hearing too much about it right now to continue sweeping the topic under the rug. Well, guys, thank you so much for joining me. This has been The Director. We'll catch you next time. As always, bolt up, Dave Frosty, and the door's been knocked, man. Bill Belichick seems to be standing outside. Are you going to answer, Chargers? Ball's in your court.